Everyone, welcome to EDU130, which is Education, Schools, and Culture. This is a 7-week accelerated class, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of you and learning with you over the next 7 weeks. So each week you will have a video like this from me, and I'll go over the learning materials and the assignments for the coming week. So I hope that's helpful for you. So for this class, we're really going to base a lot of our learning around this book. And let's make sure that you can see it okay. Oh, I always have a hard time finding the camera. There you go. Fish in a Tree. The chapters are posted each week. You do not need to purchase the textbook, but if you prefer to have a book in your hands or read on your Kindle, I think I'm looking at it right now, $6.99 for the Kindle version and $7 with overnight delivery on Prime for the actual book. So if that's how you would prefer to read, feel free to purchase it, and that way you sort of have a portable version of it if that's easier for you. So for week 1, I'd like you to read or listen to Fish in a Tree chapters 1 through 3 and Fish in a Tree chapters 4 through 6. I'd also like you to watch The Education Crisis, Being in School is Not the Same as Learning, and then choose one of the 2 readings I have: Why Teachers Must Become Change Agents, or Why Do I Teach? Work in Progress. You're welcome to read them both if you choose, but choose at least one. And then I have a bunch of videos here for you to watch. I'd like you to choose at least 4 of them. Again, if you watch all of them, that is wonderful. If you choose not to, make sure that you read at least 4. Okay. Our first assignment this week is going to be a discussion. And what I would like you to answer is the question, why do people teach? Why do you think people go into teaching? And then talk about a teacher that made a difference in your life and was a champion for you. For me, I remember my 6th grade teacher. He made all the difference in the world because I felt like he really saw me. And he really gave me agency when I was in 6th grade. I didn't know what agency was then, but now I know how he made me feel. And he was a really important person in my life. And then talk a little bit about what kind of an educator do you hope to be? And whether it's being a teacher, an OT, a counselor, psychologist, whatever career path you're taking, you're going to be an educator in some way. So, what kind of an educator do you want to be? And then make sure when you respond to your peers, you provide 1 or 2 questions for them. Something that's really important to know is, 1, that your initial posts to the prompts are always going to be due by Wednesday before midnight, and then responses to at least 3 of your classmates will be by Sunday before midnight. You are required to use references and in-text citations. This is especially important with your initial response to the prompt. And what this does is it shows me how you're using your learning materials as part of your learning. And every reference you post should have at least 1 in-text citation. If you have questions about this, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to go over it with you, or at least send you to a link so you have a better understanding. If your initial post to the prompt is not made by Wednesday before midnight, you can still post, but know that you're not going to be able to receive a score for the top 2 portions of the rubric. Very important that you also review every rubric for an assignment prior to completing the assignment so you know exactly what it is that is expected of you. And then for this week, you're going to have a choice. You are going to develop either a presentation, and if you're doing a presentation, it must have a narration. You can do PowerPoint, you can do a video, but there must be that audio component of you talking. What I want you to do is define schooling and education based on research. You can use the readings from this course and do any additional research that you choose to do. Then I want you to be able to, if you're doing excuse me. So you're going to be then summarizing the research on the key differences between schooling and education. Are they different? Are they different? What is the research on them? And then lastly, what's your understanding of those differences? And then you're also going to look at effective schools. So just like you define schooling and education based on research, I want you to define an effective school based on research. And then highlight, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 key characteristics of what an effective school should have. So some examples of those characteristics. And then lastly, what's your opinion? What do you think is the most important of those characteristics and why? Again, make sure that you use references and citations. If you're doing a presentation, a video, you're welcome to turn in your references as a separate Word document, and you can do your citations verbally. So let's say you were reading Fish in a Tree and you're referring back to page 74. You would say in your video, in the book Fish on a Tree on page 74, it said blah, 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 blah. So that's going to be your verbal version of an in-text citation. If you are using like PowerPoint slides, you would just do it as a regular citation. So if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me through Canvas, or you can email me at my BayPath email address. And in my Get to Know Your Instructor section, there's also my personal email address, drburnell@gmail.com. Any of those will work to get a hold of me. I will usually get back to you within a couple of hours. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, something has happened. Please resend your correspondence. Rarely do things get lost, but it does happen. And I have had issues with, especially Gmail being sort of weird and things evaporating or not being received on my end. So, again, if you don't hear from me within 24 hours, I probably did not get your message. If you have general questions, you can post them in the Ask Your Instructor discussion board. And that's a great place to put general questions because then other people can see the answer as well. Because if you have that question, someone else probably does as well. Take care. If there's anything I can do to support you, please never hesitate to reach out. And I'm really looking forward to learning with all of you over the next 7 weeks. Take care.